Good morning. This is Chad Johnson with Agent Evolution. In today's webinar, we're going to be looking at our turnkey website solutions. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. What is turnkey? Turnkey is our answer to a WordPress website. We're building on WordPress.org. If you're not familiar with WordPress.org versus WordPress.com, Agent Evolution has got a lot of information in our Learning Center to differentiate between the two. .org really is what allows you to put industry-specific tools like IDX Home Search on it. And we are using WordPress.org as a single installation. That makes it to where you really have more ownership of your website, so you can customize, add plugins, change code, bring in a developer to really do whatever you want with it. Very different than these solutions where they're very inexpensive, $5, $10. They put you on a multi-site environment, which means that you cannot add plugins or customize. So we're doing a website with WordPress.org that you own. You really can do what you want with it. Our sites are built for real estate, very different than the themes and the platforms out there that are very generic. You're going to find a lot of real estate specific tools and features. That means that you don't need to do as much custom work to make it applicable to your business. And turnkey comes in two flavors, two options: TurnKey Complete and TurnKey Select. Now we're going to get into what the difference between Complete and Select are. So let's jump right into that. Complete is really what it sounds like. You get IDX, hosting, and priority support, all for a monthly subscription. So you pay a $2.99 setup fee. We have a monthly subscription that includes IDX Broker Platinum. It includes quality hosting and the priority support. That starts at $99.99 a month. I say starts at because if you are a team or an office, it's going to be a little bit more expensive because of the IDX fees involved. And then you may also have an MLS that has pass-through costs. Usually that'll be just a few dollars a month, and that goes directly to your MLS. It's nothing we have control over. Select is essentially the same website. By the way, both of these websites, what you're getting is an exact duplicate of the demo site for the theme of your choice. You then add your content and personalize it to your needs. With Select, we're giving you the same website, but you're paying $399 up front. We set it up. We put it on your hosting account. So you go out and get a hosting account with one of our approved providers, and then you get the IDX subscription. You don't pay us a monthly subscription like in TurnKey Complete, and it allows you to have a little bit more flexibility. You can kind of pick the parts that you want. We'll get more into that throughout this webinar. Everything we do is built on our equity framework. It's the foundation that we built, a framework for WordPress that is geared purely towards real estate. We built in IDX Broker optimization. We'll look at what that means, but really you'll know that out of the box, things are going to work beautifully with IDX Broker because we are a division of IDX Broker. Now, equity, all of your updates, and we just had an update to equity last week, version 1.4.1. With your TurnKey Complete subscription, you always get the equity updates. With TurnKey Select, we're giving you the first year of updates with your setup fee. After that, you'll pay an annual subscription of $49.99 a year. And that gets you your ongoing software updates as we add new features, work on additions for compatibility with new versions of WordPress and things of that sort. It's software. Software is a living organism, and you have to keep on top of it, making sure that it is, always compatible with the external plugins and WordPress versions that are out there. Themes. In WordPress, themes are the look and feel, and I did a webinar a while back. You can find it in IDX Broker's YouTube channel. I've also posted it on the agentevolution.com blog. I went into a little bit more about the rudimentary of WordPress. Today we're talking more about specifically our turnkey websites, but that webinar from a little bit ago might be a good primer if you're not as familiar with WordPress. We really talked about more about WordPress itself and using IDX to be effective with WordPress. Themes are the look and feel. And we actually have got 6 different designs for our equity framework. Curb appeal. My favorite, actually our #1 seller. Move-in ready. Must see. Overall, actually, our #1 seller, curb appeal, is our newest one, and it's kind of taken over. Open floor plan, for those who like a slideshow and a call to action with the quick search there. Picture perfect, looks great on mobile devices. And prime location, one that you can lead with an IDX broker map search and then calls to action buttons, or you can switch out that map search for a slideshow if you don't want to lead with a map. Looks great both ways. Now, when you have Complete, you get access to all of those themes, as well as any ones that we come out with in the future for the life of your subscription. You'll just tell us, hey, this is the one. I like curb appeal. Set up curb appeal. We're going to install curb appeal. We're going to set it up just like the demo and hand it over to you. But then in your Agent Evolution account, you're going to be able to log in, download one of the other themes. Say you wanted to change it up. Maybe every 90 days or so, you're going to give your site a different look. Switching out child themes is actually very simple. You don't have to touch anything in WordPress. You don't have to touch anything in Equity. You're just actually activating, installing and activating a new child theme and configuring the child themes, colors, homepage, header, footer. That's pretty much it. I've done switch outs that, 20 to 40 minutes and you have a brand new, totally different looking website. Kind of a cool way to go. With TurnKey Select, you choose one theme. We set it up just the way we do with Complete, but that's the one theme you get. Should you want another theme, that's no problem. You go onto our website, you purchase that additional theme at $49.99, and then you can do the switch out yourself at that point. IDX Broker, home search. Really, something very important for a real estate website. Now, because we build all of our turnkey websites on our equity framework, you're actually going to get some special IDX features. Things that either you would need to get a custom developer to build for you, or actually some things you can only get when you're on equity. With equity, we've got, I think it's a half a dozen different specific widgets. So we're going to still install the IDX Broker plugin. We're going to activate that, and you'll have the widgets that come in the default IDX Broker WordPress plugin. But we've created quite a few of our own widgets. Why we did that was it gives us full control over the look and the feel. We wanted to be able to do a very clean, horizontally laid out quick search, so we created one of our own. We wanted a widget that showed all the city links based on the city list that you create in your IDX Broker account. That's actually something that we built off the API, and you're not going to get anywhere else unless a custom developer creates it for you. Just recently, we actually launched the Equity API, or actually I should say our parent company IDX Broker launched the Equity API. It's a special API that we're able to work with Equity to create special features. It makes it to where there's certain functionality that isn't in the main API that other developers can work off of unless they are, in fact, using the Equity framework. And the first instance of that is the ability for our property showcase to bring in not just your featured image or featured listings. Featured listings would be if you're an agent, your listings. If you're an office account, your office's listings. But now you can go in and display saved searches. So maybe you're a buying agent, a buyer's agent. You don't have your own featured listings to show. That also is very common with brand new agents. Well, instead, you could say, you know what? I am the condo king of this town. And you can do a save search, show active condos, show the newest ones first, use the property showcase to populate and put it right on the homepage and have a nice scrolling thumbnail list of the newest condos for sale. Really a cool feature and something that really adds a lot of value to having a website on equity. We'll be doing a lot more blog and webinar content on how to use that effectively. So keep an eye on agentevolution.com and idxbroker.com. We also created in equity the ability to create your own wrappers right in WordPress. Now, yes, you can go into IDX Broker, into their middleware, and create those wrappers. And some people are very comfortable there. But other folks are more comfortable working within WordPress. They're used to that. That's where they write their pages and their posts, and they're used to the WYSIWYG there. So we built it right in. You can then go ahead and create different wrappers. A global wrapper, as the screenshot is here, but also you can do things like community specific and have community specific content and photos and videos as a lead in before you then show available properties in that area. It's a great way to not only have high search engine visible pages, but also have some great information that also helps you convert traffic into leads. And that's really what we're trying to do. Getting people to your website, but then also getting them to do some sort of a registration, pick up the phone is even better. Some way that you get a lead out of traffic. High conversion rates is what we're talking about. Now, when it comes to IDX Broker, TurnKey Complete includes the Platinum subscription. So the top of the line with TurnKey Complete, we wanted to just put together the creme de la creme, the best features. And so we took IDX Broker and we built it in. That's included in your $99.99 a month subscription. With Select, we call it Select because you get to select some of the different components. There is no IDX included, but you can get Light, you can get Platinum, or choose to have no IDX at all. If you choose to get an IDX Broker account, you will pay for that subscription separately directly to IDX Broker, but you're going to get a special sign-up form from Agent Evolution where the $99 setup fee is waived. There is no setup fee on the IDX portion of TurnKey Complete because it's all part of the package. So that gives you some options. When we see people going TurnKey Select, most of the time it's because they want to maybe save a few bucks on their monthly. They don't. Their budget does not warrant the creme de la creme on the hosting and on the IDX. So they'll go with IDX Broker Lite, as well as maybe like GoDaddy or Bluehost hosting. And that's going to bring their monthly subscription fees down under $50 instead of $100. Definitely not as many features, or the quality isn't going to be the same with the hosting, but sometimes the budget just doesn't warrant that $100 expense at that time. You can always upgrade. We do have clients that go from Select and they say, you know what, I'm ready to go to Complete. We can do that for you. You can also go from Complete down to Select if you wanted to switch over and do your own hosting and switch out IDX Broker accounts. Either way, it's a $99.99 migration fee to go from Select to Complete or Complete to Select, and that's really just to cover our labor because we have to manually move you one way or the other, and it takes a couple hours of labor. Listing templates. If you're familiar with Agent Evolution, we built a plugin called WP Listings. The idea is manually entering your listings in so that you have much more control on how the presentation of your listings are, much more so than getting the data from the MLS, because the MLS will have smaller photos, limited number of photos, maybe no video, things like that. So, no matter how much we spice things up through the IDX side, if the content coming from the MLS is kind of limited, it's only so much we can do. So we've got the WP Listings plugin. We're going to install that, and then we install our listing templates. And the idea of the listing templates is you've taken the time to add your listings to the site. You put in high resolution, high quality photos, added in video, added in a map. We want to make it to where those individual listing pages look like single property websites. So we install all 5 of the designs, both on TurnKey Complete and TurnKey Select. They're there in your account, in your site, ready for every time you add a new listing, you choose which of those 5 designs you want to use. Spacious, classical, elegant, luxurious, or solid. Different designs, they all look great on mobile. By the way, should have mentioned this earlier, everything we do is mobile friendly. We do everything in mobile responsive, equity, all of our themes, all of our templates. So of course, by default, turnkey sites are mobile friendly. They're going to work great on smartphones, tablets, laptops, desktops. Plugins in the WordPress world, they add functionality. Now there's something like 30,000 plugins in the world or something like that. It's ridiculous. Putting in too many plugins is kind of like overpacking for a trip. You end up adding a lot of stuff that just slows you down as you're trying to get from the hotel to the airport. It adds a lot of weight. You want to only pack what you're going to use, and that's kind of how plugins are. Now we put together a suite of plugins that we feel that every real estate website should have, and we install those with all turnkey websites. They include a lead capture plugin. We're using the premium Gravity Forms plugin. It's on something like 60-something% of the top 10 million WordPress websites. It's incredible. We include some form templates for your basic real estate forms, get home valuation, things of that sort. But then you can also create forms of your own. One of my favorites is create some sort of an ebook, upload it to your site, get the link, and then create a form with Gravity Forms to say, hey, give us your email address and we'll send you this home buyer guide or something of that sort, a community relocation guide. You can make it to where Gravity Forms automatically sends them the link to the email they put in. You get yourself a lead. You didn't have to do anything once you had it all set up and ready to go. We build in some SEO tools. The Yoast tools, there's WordPress SEO as well as their video SEO. That allows you to go in and do things like meta titles, meta descriptions, to give yourself a little bit more of an SEO edge. Listing management, I already talked about it. Our WP Listings plugin is put in there. Backup. And this is really, backup is up to the package. We don't need to add backup to TurnKey Complete because we have you on WP Engine Manage Hosting, and they have their own backup solution. If you do a TurnKey Select and you do it on a managed host that has their own backup, we're not going to put a backup system in because it's just redundant. They might fight each other. But if you do go with a cheaper shared hosting solution, we put in the premium backup buddy solution so that you can back it up to your Dropbox or something of that sort, because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. The worst thing you can do is not have a backup of your website. And then we add some security plugins, some anti-spam, lock-in, lockdown. Again, some of these things will depend on your host and whether the host has the security built in. We're going to add some things to it if your host is not as secure. And finally, one of the most important things is you can add your own plugins. There are so many solutions out there that don't give you that ability. You pretty much, here's your plugins. If you want to add another one, you got to put in a special request and hope and pray that they approve it. Or there's no way for them to approve it. They're just, here's the plugins. This is it. You can go and add pretty much any plugin you want. WP Engine does have some plugins that they've identified just to be poor plugins, and they won't allow those to be installed with our TurnKey Complete. But that's for good reason. It's to help you out, and they give some great offerings for what to install on your own. Now, with our support, we support what we built. If you go out and add 10 different plugins from random different people, your site starts acting weird. We're going to say, all right, deactivate those plugins. Does it not work weird anymore? Okay, problems with one of those things, but we do support all the plugins that we install from the get-go. Hosting. As I've been mentioning, one of the biggest differences between TurnKey Complete and TurnKey Select is hosting. We went out and got the best hosting that we could get, WP Engine. They're a company based out of Austin. They've actually started to go global with a new location in London. They really have become the premium in managed WordPress hosting. They've got very fast and very reliable servers. People don't want to wait for your website to load. Google doesn't want to wait for your website to load. So actually being on slow servers can hurt you in Google results. It also can hurt you in conversion. People are going to leave if your site takes too long to load, and you don't want your site. I mean, I've seen some hosts that your site will go down quite often in the course of a month. You can find yourself being out every 10 minutes a week, an hour a week even. With WP Engine, they also do daily backups. It's wonderful. You wake up in the morning, your site was backed up overnight. If something happened, you just, it wasn't broken yesterday. Let's roll back to yesterday. Boom, you're back up. It's so much easier to restore a backup than to try to fix something if, say, you were hacked or something happened along the way. And hacking does happen. It's just very random, but it does happen. WordPress updates, WP Engine, when WordPress, the core WordPress comes out with a new version, they're going to do a lot of testing, make sure it's all good to go. They're going to email you, say, hey, we're about to update your WordPress to this version, the current version. They take care of it for you. And then they give you restore points. And restore points are something that I find to be golden. Anytime I'm going to update a plugin or add a new plugin or do any kind of change on my own website, we run all Agent Evolution websites on WP Engine. I go in and I set a restore point. If the update or the new plugin breaks something, I go straight back to that restore point, restore it back, and then go from there. So my site never have to try to fix something from an update. Now, if you go with TurnKey Select, you could decide to go with WP Engine. They're about $30 for a single site if you went out and just got a retail account. Or you could go, and we've got a list on Agent Evolution down in the footer of approved hosts. I think there's a couple dozen or a dozen and a half in there of website hosts of different price range and service level that we've done testing, and we feel that they meet a certain minimum requirements. Basically, with Select, you would get your own account. You would give us the login to that account. We would install your website on that account. Education and support. How do you get help? With any of our clients, you get full access to our Learning Center. And the Learning Center has got dozens of video tutorials set up in courses. Courses are set up as a series of lessons. It's very much like lynda.com, where you say, I want to learn how to use my child theme, and you watch the course, and voila, there you are. We also have written documentation in our knowledge base. We take a lot of pride and put a lot of time and effort into our educational pieces, because we find that a lot of support issues aren't really support, they're education. You want to learn how to do something. So instead of having to wait for a response, you might be able to find the answer immediately, get what you need, and move on with your day. TurnKey Complete, you get priority email support. So if you just, hey, I need to know how to do this or what's going on here, at any point you email, and those are the support needs that we handle immediately or before any others. With TurnKey Select, we give you 30 days of that email support, give you a nice little buffer. But then after that, if you need to ask a question or you need assistance, you go to the support forum, mainly because there is no ongoing subscription to cover personalized priority email support. Finally, and this is a brand new feature, we kind of did a soft launch. It's installed. This is, I think, probably the first public time I'm talking about this feature. Probably do a series of blog articles later this week to get the word out. GOIP. This is only for TurnKey Complete. It is actually a new feature exclusive to WP Engine. They built it, but they only made it available on their enterprise level hosting accounts, which we've got for our TurnKey Complete clients. What it is the ability for you to show content based on the location that the person's in. So if I'm in a city, we'll say you're an agent in Eugene, where IDX Broker and Agent Evolution are based out of. You can actually set up the property showcase where it says, essentially, if a visitor looks to be like they're physically in Eugene, show them these Eugene properties. If they are in Springfield, the town over, show them these properties instead. It's location-based content. You can do that with more than just the listings. Basically, you can say, if they're in this city, show them this. If they're in this city, show them that. But we're going to get into, like I said, a series of blog articles where we get creative and show how you can do location-based content a lot better.